the most unconscious part of the human body is the belly button. This belly button contains the greatest secrets. It is the closed yesod, the closed bris. Every person goes through a cutting of the umbilical cord when they're born. They can't exist as an independent entity without the cutting of the umbilicus. This deep psychological thing is the cutting off from the mother, cutting off from being supported from the outside. And the first mark of individuality. This happens at the point of birth. There's an echoing here at the bris at 8 days old, when the foreskin is cut. This is a 8-day replica of what happened at birth. Everyone knows of the traumatic consequences of the circumcision, the unconscious effects that it has on the male in his sexuality and his psychological approach in life, to life. But very few people ever talk about the effect of the cutting of the umbilical cord. This is so deep that nobody talks about it. Years ago, there used to be some people that talked about it in dream theory, the interpretation of dreams, and the idea of the umbilicus. But even then, they used to talk about the placenta and the womb, but never really the cutting of the umbilical cord. In the Kabbalistic texts, they call this the tibur, the center of the world. It's considered a closed yesod. Closed meaning never open to consciousness. It is so deep. It's really, well, I'm going to talk about this in a minute. In a certain sense, it's a coming together of netzach and hod. Even in the Indian chakra system, this, what's called third chakra, one above the yesod itself, is a combination chakra of yesod and hod. It's called the power chakra. Nietzsche's explication of life came out of this power chakra, the will to power, which is explicated in the closed tibur. Adlerian psychology is based in that chakra, in that tibur, with the concept of power. Freudian psychology is based in the genital area, but its origin, which is opened, but the origin of it rests in the tibur, in the belly button. How do we know this? Because in the highest head, the radla, the head that is not known and cannot be known, it comprises 3 sephirot. It's a yesod, netzach, and hod of Adam Kadmon itself. It issues forth from the T-ball of Adam Kadmon. It issues for the Ikra, the root, is the T-ball of Adam Kadmon. So the sexuality that's found in the highest regions comes out of this unconscious origin, the connection of the umbilical cord to the source of Ein Sof. So now, once we understand this, we understand that this umbilicus to Ein Sof is never really severed, even with the cutting of the umbilical cord. Basically, down here below, it's the connection to one's mother. Even though the umbilical cord is cut, one never loses the connection to one's mother, the source of life. In a certain sense, this goes on for Ishus, also for marriage, where the Ishus is never really destroyed, even with divorce or death. The Ishus is a permanent Ishus. The same thing occurs with the relationship of the Jewish people to Hosh Kodesh Baruch Hu. The relationship is never severed. We are like the Kala of Hosh Kodesh Baruch Hu. We are the feminine parts, which is shown because Radla is the feminine aspect itself. We never lose a connection to Hashem. No matter what happens, no matter how unconscious anything turns out to be, we never lose this connection. Even those who pretend that there's no God or go through life as denying everything, even they and their unconscious know that there's a connection to God. It's the same thing as saying that he has no connection to his mother. How foolish to even entertain those kind of thoughts. So this umbilicus, which is the root of the Kav HaMidot, the Hut, comes out of Ein Sof itself, down into Malkus, in the very center. This closed aspect of unconsciousness, this is where the true power and the true unconscious sexuality of man really lies. This is a very deep aspect of consciousness. I will be talking how to access this deep unconscious that pervades our dreams and daily life. I'll tell you that, say in yoga and in Oriental arts, sometimes they talk about that as the hara point. The belly button chakra, or the 2 inches below it, for kung fu and things like this, to sink into that area, almost like a belly. The energy is in that space that has to be tapped in on. It's an unconscious energy for most, but when this energy opens up, this unconscious chai energy, a real source of power, of koach. So I'm going to be talking about this. One of the things we can do is to rub that belly button. Be aware of it. Put your finger in it. Touch it. Breathe into it. Widen the body. Let the base relax into natural power. This is the Tibor, the unconscious Yesod. When one can learn the thoughts from this area, they've transcended a certain dimension that's been blocked. And we'll be talking about this relationship to the mother as the primal relationship that gets cut at birth, and how to access these deep emotional energies.